the citizenship, and then they've moved back to their home in Haiti, and they come periodically. They have an amazing ministry that they're going to describe today. Josh put together a presentation, but it's part of missions of reaching out in a creative way. You're going to hear today some amazing things of what God has called them to do. It's kind of like a entrepreneurial way of providing opportunities for Haitians to really see their destiny, become self-sustaining, and also honor God in the midst of that. So Josh is going to kind of MC, and Amber and V are going to come and share. And so, okay, brother, you're on.
All right. So why did Josh put together a PowerPoint for Amber and V? Because Josh is the secretary for this ministry, this 501c3 nonprofit. And so I'm a terrible administrator, but this was part of my administration duty, so I did it. So, but let's just, first of all, for those who don't know Amber and V, Amber is my sister, V is my brother-in-law. When I was 14 years old, Amber was 4 years old, my father asked me if I wanted to go on a short-term, one-week missionary trip down to Haiti to help a lady from our church. And I said, sure. I was only 14. I didn't know anything about it. Sure, let's go. So we went down to Haiti, and we were working on building a fence around a school that was there. And, you know, I'm limited in my fence skills at the age of 14 and my strength skills. So I sat underneath a big tree in the shade, and I was waiting for them to tell me to bring me the shovel, bring me the cement, etc. And while I was sitting there, this kid showed up, and he started talking with me and practicing his English. So I whipped out my French-English dictionary, and I started practicing my French. And we formed a friendship. His name was Smith. My parents decided to go back for 4 months. When I was 15, we went back, and I hung out with Smith again. And then we came back to the States. And then after a while, my parents decided to go back again as full-time missionaries, and they were there for 3 years. While they were there for 3 years, my little brother made a friend. He made a friend with Ved. And it turns out that Ved is Smith's little brother. So the family has been connected for many, many years. And then my family left and came back to the States, and we didn't know if we'd ever see Verdier or Smith again. And then one day, we get a Facebook request from Verdier. He's in Florida. What's going on? How you doing? Well, we haven't seen you in a long time. Why don't you come visit us? So he came up and he visited us for a week. And while he was there, he saw Amber and the family and everybody he knew from spending those 3 years with us. And he said, I don't like Florida. There's nothing there. There's no jobs for me. I said, why don't you move to Rochester? You know me. You know Liz. We'll help you get established. He says, okay. So he moves to Rochester. While he's here in Rochester, Amber moves to Rochester because she's just finished school and she's trying to get herself established. And so they see each other. They form a friendship. And what do you know? Here we are. So isn't it neat how you never would have thought you'd cross paths with people again, but the Lord knows what's going on. And so I'm really thankful for Ved being part of our family. I'm thankful for Amber, my little sister, one of two. And we're going to talk today a little bit about what they're doing in Haiti. Ved came to the States, and a lot of people who grew up in a third world country want to come to America to get away from the poverty, to get away from the suffering. That's not this man right here. This man says, I want to go to America, and I want to get materials and things I need to go back and help my people. This is a man whose heart is for his people. All right? And his wife's heart is for now her people as well. She's got 2 countries that are her people. And so we're here today to talk a little bit about what they're doing. And the 501c3 is called LAVI. It stands for Life and Vision International. Now here's a cool thing. LAVI is the Haitian word for life. We want to minister life in Haiti. We want to minister life by providing communities empowerment and changing their lives and giving them sustainable options so they don't have to rely upon Americans' foreign aid. They don't have to rely upon that. They can manage their own country their own way. We help them with opportunities. So we're going to go through this a little bit. I'm going to kind of MC, but here they are, so I'm going to let them greet the church.
Good morning. It's a pleasure for me to be here this morning. I miss you guys. I miss you a lot. I miss my band. So whenever I have a chance to play with you guys, it's a blessing for me. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
So I think, so Doc and Love is here. Yeah, she's waving. Wave again so everyone can see you. And we have Ollie, who's out in the children's church. And we're going to be speaking as well about another young lady who now lives with us in Haiti, Lucia. And you'll be seeing her picture in just a moment.
All right, so moving forward, this is the LAVI Board. We said LAVI is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. We are recognized in the state of Florida and the state of New York. And this is the American board. There's a Haitian board as well, but this is the American board. And we want to let you see who's on it. So V is the vice president. Gary is the treasurer. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm the vice president. He's the president. I'm the vice president and secretary. Gary is the treasurer. And then Karen McGill from Lisbon, New York, and Josh Barrett, also from Brighton, are on the board as well. And so we come together and we talk about how can we help the projects and visions for Haiti. So this is where they work. Pillon, it is in the, if we call it a state, they call it a department, Haiti, the northern department, and it's rural. It's rural. I use the illustration, imagine you're in the hills of Kentucky. Ding, 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 ding. All right? That's where we are in Haiti. We're way up north with just farmers. And it's still dirt roads.
Yeah.
They're in the process of working on the roads and getting them better, and hopefully within the next couple of years paving them, you know, God willing. But it's been dirt roads forever. The national road is a dirt road where they live. And here's a view of that area from the top of a mountain behind Verdier Amber's house. So here's the mission. LAVI seeks to transform lives by enhancing education, agriculture, health, faith, and business. I want you to imagine five things on a hand, right? You need your hands to do work, right? So education, agriculture, health, faith, and business in developing nations at this point in time, it's Haiti. And the vision, where we see ourselves in the future and how we want other people to see us, for the word vision, is to empower self-sustaining communities. So here's the inspiration, and I'm going to let these guys tell you about why they got into this.
This is how we start LAVI. In 2012, my wife and I, we moved back to Haiti. And while we were in Haiti, we didn't have a kid at that time except for Dad, and she was living with my parents. So we're in a process to build a house in the communities. After looking everywhere to find a land to build a house, we can find a land. And one day, God bring us like to a mountain area, and that's where we find a piece of land. So while we build the house, we start like meeting different people in the area. And this little girl you see with Amber, her name is like Wismaika. So that little girl, they live about like 300 feet away from our house. So, you know, in Haiti, because people cook outside, you know, like some places like 3 woks. That's how we hold back home. So 3 woks, there's no like stove or there's gas. We don't use those things if you don't have the cash. So this little family, one day, her grandma came and bring us some leaves, some vegetables. And then while she gave us the vegetables, I feel like, oh, maybe I should give her something back. So I said, ma'am, wait a minute. So I went inside, get a couple pounds of rice, and put it in a plastic bag and give it to her. So she took it, and then I was like, she said, thank you. And you could see like her face, you know, just like so happy. And then I turned my back, and I look again, and she started dancing and go home. I said, what's going on? So later on, there's a girl named, her daughter came to us. He says, guys, thank you so much. I says, why? He says, this is the 3rd days without light a fire. 3rd days.
Lighting a fire means
Mean cooking food. I said, what? He says, this is, you know, I can't even imagine. So in that little girl, she was like malnourished and all kind of stuff. She lived in that house. So I said, we don't have a kid, and Dak loves to stay with my parents. We're in the process of building and stuff like that. So we start invite this little girl to our house. So we start feeding her peanut butter. So some of the peanut butter we get from the state, we start feeding her. And then I says, honey, maybe we should do something. And there's a lot of kids in the area like that. Says, we should do something. So we start a feeding center of 50 kids.
So from one little girl in need, they started a feeding center to feed other kids in need in the area. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So that was the inspiration that started this whole movement of helping people in their community. And the inspiration continues. So I'm going to let Amber talk about Lucia.
So this is Lucia. On the left is a picture of her a few years ago, and that's her on the right now. And she is a neighbor's relative. She lives right near us with her relatives. Her birth parents wanted to sell her into slavery. We have child slavery in Haiti still. And they tried to sell her, and a relative took her in, but there was a lot of neglect and abuse going on in the house. So she has been staying with us. She's not with us right now here because she's sort of like a foster child, and we don't have legal rights to travel with her to the U.S., but she's very, very sweet and very kind and loves to laugh all the time. And we're just super thankful for her.
What was her shoe size when she came to live with you? What's her shoe size now?
Well, she came to live with us when, April?
In May.
In May. And after 3 months, she had gained over 40 pounds. She's 12, and she had weighed like 40 pounds when she came to move in with us. And now she's 70-some. And her shoe size went from a 2 kids to like, I think she's probably almost a 4 now. So she just sprouted, good nutrition and some love.
And for those of you who remember, over the past couple months, she was the little girl that got attacked by the dog. And that's one of the reasons why they brought her in. And so now she's doing 10 times better. So that's the inspiration, and that's still going on. Meeting the needs of the people in their local community. That's what LAVI is all about, Life and Vision International. One of the things we talked about on the 5 areas of ministry for LAVI is education. And I'm going to let V talk a little bit about how he partners with the Central Plateau Scholarship Program.
This is how we start the education program, which is the scholarship. So at the same time, while we're building the house, there's a bunch of young kids sitting doing nothing. So there's 5 guys, we kind of talk to them once in a while, and I says, guys, why are you not in school? And they says, because we don't have the money. And some of them 25, and they're still in 7th grade, some of them in 9th grade. And I says, but you should be in school. They says, you don't have money. I says, but if you want, I could provide a way for you to go back to school. They says, what? I says, this is what we're gonna do. While I'm building my house, I want you to come work after school. So I'll give you 50% of your money. You do whatever you want with it. So I'm gonna take the 50% of that money to send you to school. So they says, yes. So after 2 years after, I met another people in Indiana who give us a full scholarship for 60 kids. Now we have 60 kids in college. We have 20 graduated, and in the 20 graduated, we get 10 of them already get jobs. So this is how we start the scholarship programs.
So he's giving folks a chance to work towards their own education. So here's an example of one of the young men who has graduated from the Central Plateau Scholarship Program, and he enrolled into the University of Polyvalente in Haiti. Also with education, as well as partnering with various scholarship programs to help high school and college-age kids, and LAVI also does a lot of practical workshops. They've had folks come down and give karate workshops. They've had folks come down and give sewing and quilting workshops. This sewing and quilting workshop, there's one lady on the board who goes down and does this, and it provides the ladies a skill to create things, blankets and bags and clothes, etc., which gives them a chance to sell them in the local market. So they're having a skill that they can use to help make money for themselves and their family. Continuing on with education, we also offer leadership and theology training. So sometimes pastors will come down and they'll work with local church leaders. Sometimes just regular leadership folks will come down and talk about what are the skills you need to be a good leader. So going back to the feeding center that Ved started, now we went from education, now we're on health, the second one. And so the feeding center, as we saw with Wismica, their inspiration is what they started. Ved, why don't you tell us a little bit about how many times do you do the feeding center and what does it entail?
For the feeding center, because we didn't raise funds yet with LAVI. We usually do it whenever we get some money, but we do it like 3 times a month when we don't have money. But when we really have money, we do it twice a week. But our goal is to do like at least 3 times a week after school.
And it's not just kids show up and eat. The kids show up, he sends word out to the local community, and there's other feeding centers going on as well. So he tries to work with the kids who aren't part of a feeding program already, who are in need. They come, they gather the kids in the gazebo that Morningstar helped to fund, the Peacemaker gazebo, and they gather the kids there. They usually do a couple songs with the kids. Sometimes they'll have some crafts with the kids where they can draw, etc. And you can see our old Aaron Benton up there coloring with the kid, all right? And they sing with the kids, they pray with the kids, they play with the kids, and then they bring out food for the kids. And they bring out usually rice, beans, maimule, sometimes cornmeal, spaghetti. Usually, I think when we were there, somebody had killed a goat, so they got a chance to have some goat meat. And you'd be surprised, man. I was there one time, there was this like kid, he must have been 3 years old. And he came up and they gave him a plate that was bigger than his head. And he just, boom, boom, boom. Even the Haitians were like, look at this kid go. And he wouldn't stop. And he just sat there and just shoveled, and he ate the whole thing.
That could be the only meal for the day.
It could be the only meal for the day.
In a few days.
Yeah. Well, just like going back to Wismica, we haven't had a fire. We haven't been able to cook for 3 days until you gave us the rice. Heck, we had a day of fasting yesterday, and we were struggling for just missing breakfast and dinner. And then we came together and had a beautiful dinner, breakfast and lunch, and then we came together and had a nice dinner. So, continuing on with health, Ved has also, through LAVI, been able to drill many wells in the area. How many people love waking up in the morning, turning on your faucet? You don't even think about it, do you? It's like, I can just drink the water from the faucet. I can wash my dishes. I can take a shower. Ooh, it's hot water, too. Oh, yeah. These people have to go with a bucket. Sometimes, how many miles do they have to walk?
Like 4 or 5 miles.
Sometimes 4 to 5 miles to the closest well if they live in the mountain. Fill up a 5-gallon bucket, put it on their head, walk ever so gently back to not spill it, and then take from that all day. So, through LAVI, we've been able to drill some local wells in the area. And I'm going to tell a quick story. When I was there, V had just got done drilling a well. He hadn't even capped it yet. So it was just a piece of PVC pipe that was coming out of the ground. And so they hooked it up to see if it worked, and they opened the valve, and it wasn't even finished. They didn't even pour the concrete base or anything, and water came out. And all of a sudden, you look down the little trail, and everybody's coming with their yellow buckets to fill up. We didn't even have it done yet. And they were like, got some water there? And they filled up, and here they are filling it up. Right there on that picture to the left. All right. Also, Ved sometimes has teams come down where he teaches them how to filter water. So I'm going to let you talk about that.
So there's some places we can't really drill well because we don't have a road. There's no way to go there with a truck or something like that. But there's some spring, some river going, pass by. So sometimes we raise some funds, and then people want to come down, they raise funds. We buy some buckets filter. So in those places, we go into mobile clinic, we help them and also give them a bucket so they could take any dirty water, they put in that bucket so it will be drinkable.
And these are filtration systems that you can usually buy.
You could buy them here, or you could buy some now in the States.
How much are they?
Some of them probably like $25.
$25 for a filtration system.
I think they last for like 10 years.
10
right?
years, yeah.
$25 to give people clean water for 10 years. Awesome. Continuing with health, we also do mobile clinics. So whenever nurses come down, etc. I think when Joan went down in 2015, she was able to do a mobile clinic, see a lot of people. There is a hospital 6 miles away, but the hospital is very expensive. There's no health insurance there like there is here. If you want an operation done, you have to have cash. And if you don't have cash because you're a poor rural farmer in Haiti, what are you going to do? Sell your cows, sell your goats. Now you have no produce. Now you have nothing to rely on, etc. So a lot of times people don't have the money to go to the hospital, so they just deal with it. So when we can come down there for mobile clinics and we can offer prayer and we can offer medication, etc., it really is a blessing to them. Anything to say about that? No. All right. Also with health, this is a funny question. How many people use the toilet today? All right? Yeah. I'm glad you're all regular. But what I'm trying to say is it's sanitary, right? We have sanitation systems here in America where we don't need to worry about that. A lot of times in some of these areas out in the woods, they don't have sanitation systems. So it's really important for health to put all your natural business in one area where it's not going to contaminate anything. So what they do is they dig these holes, usually about 15, 20 feet. Yeah. 15, 20 feet, and they build a concrete structure on top. That's their outhouse. How many people have used an outhouse before? You know, growing up with the little moon carved in the side, you know? It's an outhouse. It's a latrine. And it's so important that every house have one.
Why we do the outhouse in the area where we live? I have a couple of dogs in my house. I find out sometime one like nighttime, my dog keep barking around because there's a forest close to us, one of the forest. I say, we wonder what's going on. But we know people don't have bathroom. But guess what? Those people go use the forest. And then we says, okay, so what should we do? Because if we live there, like people coming down in the roof and you see people go in the forest and, you know, for bathroom and stuff, you know, do their business, that's not right. So we come up with some idea, and I talked to a friend from Lisbon, and she started raising some money. So far, we done like 4 outhouses. Each of them cost us $700 US. But the thing is, we not just do a outhouse. If you do a outhouse, where do those people take shower? So you want to sit on your roof and someone like naked in the back and just taking shower? No. So I adding to the bathroom a little room with privacy where they could take a shower. So we be able to do like for 4 different family in our area, the closest family, but we want to do more. But as we're limited in funds, so our future goals, we're going to try to get some more done.
And when we say shower, we mean a bucket bath. They're taking that 5-gallon bucket and a little bowl, and they're bending down, and they're pouring it over their head, they're soaping up, and then they're rinsing again. Careful not to get the soap into the bucket, because they might need to use that water for something else, and they don't want soap in it. So, continuing on with health, LAVI has also sponsored community soccer tournaments. Hey, when you live way up in the sticks and there's not much to do, and you don't have a Walmart to go to, you don't have a movie theater to go to, you got to do something for fun. Hey, sports is a great outlet. And so he's able to bring together various teams in the local community and run a soccer tournament. So we talked about education, we talked about health, now we're on to agriculture. This is probably one of the biggest things that LAVI is doing right now for their local community, and they've created a community garden. So I'm going to let you talk about that.
With the community garden, when we start the feeding center, and I don't like keep asking people in the States, please send us money, and help us doing this, help us doing that. So I talked to the kids' parents. I says, how can we do something, you know, self-sufficient so we could feed those kids? So I have a couple, like, we have some land. So I invited the parents, we start doing garden. So the garden, whatever we go in the garden, a percentage of that going to the feeding center, a percentage go to the people and local people who want to sell and buy and resell, and some of it stay for the next year so we could buy things for the future. So you'll see more pictures and then we talk more about it.
So in these pictures right here that you're looking at, in Haiti, part of their culture, they have something called a combite. And a combite is like a work party. How many people have heard of an Amish barn raising? Where all of the Amish community come together to help one family raise a barn so they can have the barn for their cows, etc. It's very similar in its principle and its concept. The whole community comes together to help somebody plant, harvest, etc. So they have a work party and they work to music. So there's people playing, those are PVC pipes, All right, they used to be made out of bamboo. They're playing PVC pipes, blowing into it like a trumpet, and they beat on the side with a stick. So it's like, and people work to that. And that spurs the workers on. They say that if you have music, you will never get tired. And so some people provide the music, some people do the work, and then they'll switch. After I've worked for a while, I give one of the guys playing music the hoe, and I take over the bamboo, and I start playing. And we move forward. But here they are all working together in unity, each person having his role.
Yes.
So after we were down there, we did the preparation, we hoed the entire garden area, they planted. And because of the well that Ved had a chance to dig, he's able to irrigate, so he set up an irrigation system. Drip irrigation. So here he is planting and watering. And then we move on to the next one. And now it's growing. So he's got banana, he's got peppers, he's got tomatoes, he's got, what else do you have?
We start with
Eggplant.
broccoli this year.
Broccoli. You don't find broccoli easy in Haiti. You don't find broccoli easy. He's got broccoli. All right? And then here's the harvest. So here's some local members of the area picking. Now, was that turnips?
Turnips.
That's some nice looking turnips right there. All right? So, and it's funny because when I was down there, we were talking with some of the people, and the people are all amazed by this produce. Like, how much did you sell green pepper for in the market?
Like in the market, like a local market, it's open air market. If you go there, you could get 4 green peppers for like 20 Haitian dollars, about like $1.25 about. But when they come to our house, we sell them a big bucket, like 5-gallon bucket. We sell it for $200 Haitian. It's about $5 something or $6. Yeah. So we're cutting the price, and they go in and take that bucket and go sell in the market in detail.
So these are members of the community working in the garden with V. Then they can purchase the produce from the garden at a cheaper rate, go and sell it and make a profit so they can sustain themselves. And here's some example. They've had a lot of surplus from their community garden. So a lot of the surplus, I guess tomatoes, they were selling 5-gallon buckets of tomatoes, 5-gallon buckets of peppers, etc. And so the Lord has really blessed the land and has really blessed this garden, and it's able to provide folks. You have something to say?
I do, yeah. So, the Haitian culture lends itself to be quite superstitious, and there are so many different things that people believe that you have to do before you plant anything in your garden. You have to plant by the cycle of the moon. You have to have children plant certain things, grown-ups plant certain things, boys plant certain things, girls plant certain things. And we're just going to plant, pray over it in Jesus' name, and it's going to produce. And it has, and people have been very surprised. So that's been a real testimony.
So God's getting the glory, not the way we do it. So continuing on, and one more thing with that community garden, they're also using the produce to give to the elderly in the local community. There's no nursing homes in this community, you know? So what are you going to do with the elderly? And if the elderly are so old that they can't go out and hoe in the garden and weed in the garden and plant their own garden, they have to rely upon other people. And so Amber and Ved with LAVI have really taken the elderly of their community under their wing, and they provide them with some of the produce from the garden. And then once in a while they'll have them come and they'll provide a wonderful meal for them, and they'll let them watch a movie. They love Mr. Bean. They love Mr. Bean. They love that slapstick comedy. So they just let them have fun. Another project for agriculture is chicken and fish project. So on the left-hand side here, you see a chicken coop that Ved has built, and then you see a fish pond here. The only thing missing are the chicken and the fish. So we have prepared the environment for chicken and fish. And one interesting thing, just to let you know, is that the fish that he wants to raise here in this farm are tilapia. Tilapia are bottom feeders. They'll eat all the junk and everything. So he's going to have the chicken. You know what comes with chickens. You know, if you've ever been in a chicken coop, all that nasty stuff everywhere, the fish eat that. So he can raise chickens and then not have to spend any money on food because the fish, the bottom feeders, will eat all the chicken waste, and then he can sell both chicken and fish to folks in the local community. So faith, we've talked about health, we've talked about education, we've talked about agriculture, now we talk about faith. LAVI works with churches in the area. They support local ministry, local children's ministry, etc. Let's go to the next one. Local outreach. That big group of people there is the Jesus film. So they go out into rural communities and they show the Jesus film in Haitian Creole, and they give a evangelistic message. And then on the right, there's Amber with some folks who came down. They did a concert, did they not? And they invited Amber to sing. And so again, when you live in rural Haiti, there's not much for entertainment. You're out working in your farm, and then you gotta hang out. You know, we can't go to a club, we can't go to a restaurant here or there, etc. It's difficult. It's not that readily available. So concerts that are held, outreach concerts, draw big crowds. And so we have a chance to sing and minister there. Health, education, agriculture, faith. Now we're on to business. So LAVI has created a GOAT project in their local area, and I'm going to have Ved tell you about the GOAT project.
The GOAT project, this is how we started. When we had our son, Ali, his grandma gave him $50. So we took the $50, we start with 2 goats. So I took some little bit of my own money. We buy, I think, 28 goats. We were starting behind our house. So we're planning to come back to the United States. And it says, okay, if we come back to the United States for 2 years, who's going to take care of those goats? So I said, maybe let's turn that to a project. So we went to like different places, and then we meet with some leaders in those areas, and we start a good project. So how we do the goats? So let's say I give Gary a goat, I escape John, and I give Erin a goat, I escape her, and then give her a goat. So when Gary's goat have a baby, so Gary have to give his baby goat to John. So when Erin goat has baby, he have to give it to her. So that keep the people in the community work together. So now John have to help Gary take care of his goat, and she have to help Erin take care of Erin's goat. So, and when those goats has like multiple baby, after they reach out most of the people, so if a kid's sick, so they could sell a baby goat to take the kids to the hospital. If there's someone die, as you know, they have to sell some of them and just like help take care of those things.
How many goats do we have now?
Right now, we start with 30 in 2013. Today, we have 350.
So it's an opportunity for the local community to work together and to benefit together. And that's really what it's all about. In Haiti, they have something called mettez tête ensemble, put your heads together. It means working together. They also say, en pile main chai palou, many hands makes light work. And so they want to work together. You saw that through the work party for the garden, and now through this GOAT project. We're giving them opportunities to put their heads together, to put their hands together, and to make light work and help themselves advance and move forward. So, that was health, education, agriculture, faith, and business, the 5 areas of LAVI, Life and Vision International. So what are some future projects? So I'm going to have Ved share a little bit about his heart for a future project that he wants to see happen in that community of Haiti.
So with all that, guys, I have a further vision. The vision is to have a trade school. We start with the scholarship. The goal is the kids in the scholarship, they have to give 100 hours. To be one of the things to be a part of the scholarship programs, they have to give 100 hours a year to do community work. So they have to come back and work in the communities. So a lot of kids in the scholarship programs now, some of them already graduate. We're planning, once we have the trade school, some of them will come and teach to do the basic courses and stuff like that, and find some other people, like, let's say you're an electrician or you're a plumber, you go to Haiti, you could do seminar and do some projects to help those people. The reason why I want to, as a Haitian, go up Haiti, go up poor, very poor, not anymore, praise God. So I want to give the young Haitian like me, I'm 36, I want to give young Haitian like me the opportunities, give them the challenge. But to give them the challenge, you got to give them tools, right? It's not like, okay, if you give a Haitian like $100 today, I see we have some Haitian here, they know they have family in Haiti. When they send $50 US, oh, that money is gone, what do you do? You know, it went somewhere else. They understand that, right? So I don't feel like keep giving them money. I feel like give them the tools. Let's say right now, Haiti, there's unrest in the country, right? But also there's a part of the country still developed. Haiti is a beautiful country. It's very nice, beautiful, beautiful. So if those kids don't have a skill, let's say a big company come to my area, they're looking for a plumber, or they're looking for masonry, or they're looking for electricians. And those people have no skill. They're not gonna get the job. Someone gonna from like Port-au-Prince or Cape Haitian or wherever, and just to come to do the job. But my goal is, and give those people the opportunity to challenge them by opening a trade school where we're gonna teach like plumbing, electricity, mechanic, sewing, like a basic cooking class and stuff like that. So this is the challenge we have. The only way I think to do it, by providing a way we could teach them first and then help them move forward.
And just to let you know a little bit more where he's coming from this, when you finish high school and you're looking to go to college or to a trade school, there are no trade schools in his area. The closest trade school is probably a 3-hour drive away over the mountains. Port-au-Prince on the south, Cape Haitian is the second biggest city in the north. So they would have to go live there, pay rent, buy their own food, etc., and then pay for the school, because it's a private school, it's not a public school. And so a lot of these kids who come from a rural, poor family have to go to the city and spend all this money for their education. And so what he wants to do is, as opposed to sending them out and putting that burden on them, have a school right in their local area that they can learn from and not have to spend all that money and not have to be away from their families, etc. And so that way, since they're there and they have the skill, they can now use that skill to better the area that they're in.
And also, it's not just gonna be a school, it's also gonna be a community center. So like someone has like, they have to do something in the communities, they will welcome to use it also.
And I want Amber to talk a little bit about how a neighboring orphanage in Pillon can benefit from this trade school as well.
So about 5 miles away from us, we have some friends that have a children's home, and they have, probably 41 kids there now, and a lot of them are sort of aging out of the system. They've done high school, and some of them actually have not been able to complete high school because they have a learning disability or special needs or a physical handicap. So there are all different reasons why they might not be able to go to public education. But we were able to speak with the director of the children's home, and he wants to help us with the trade school because he has children there that have aged out and need a skill. So that would be a really exciting opportunity for us.
So if these kids do have a learning disability, etc., and they have been kicked out because the current school doesn't know how to deal with them, and here they are aging out of a children's home, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? So here's an opportunity for them to learn a trade, to be able to give back to the local community. So all of these things that Ved and Amber are doing through LAVI, Life and Vision International, why are they doing it? Well, 2,500,000 Haitians live in extreme poverty. Haiti is currently the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Most Haitians live on less than $2 per day. Some of us spend more than $2 on a cup of coffee in the morning. 50% of urban Haitians are unemployed. 90% are farmers. Those are the people that Ved and Amber are ministering to in the local community. And they depend on rain for the harvest, as only 10% of the crops are irrigated. I remember one time I was down there and I was talking with their neighbor, and I was just making small talk. And when you're making small talk, what do you talk about? The weather. I said, oh boy, it's awful hot, huh? It's awful dry here. This is the dusty, dry season. She's like, oh yes, I can't wait for the rain. I said, oh no, I don't like the rainy season because then all the dust turns to mud and it's muddy. She's like, oh, I love the mud. I love the rain. I said, why? She goes, because that means my crops will grow and I can eat. And I was like, because all I'm thinking about is going to Wegmans and buying what I need. I'm not living off of the land like that. But this old lady was. And for her, the inconvenience of messy mud meant she was doing well and she could eat. And so I was humbled that day. Nearly 2/3 of the Haitian population is illiterate. They don't know how to read or write. So that's why Ved and Amber have decided to go live in Haiti. That's why they have decided to form this nonprofit called LAVI, Life and Vision International. And if anything that we've talked about, health, education, agriculture, faith, and business, and the future project of the trade school is something that you might want to jump on board with, here's how you can help. We're a church. We believe in Jesus. We believe prayer moves things. Amen? I mean, we pray for ourselves. We pray for other people. We can add in the ministry of LAVI. So if you want to help us, first and foremost, go to the Lord on our behalf. Go to the Lord and say, Lord, give them wisdom. Give them strength. Give them opportunities. Provide for them. Give them the funds they need. Bring the people to them that they need to know and speak with so that they can provide those options and those tools that they need. Next thing is, tell others. There is a Facebook page for LAVI, Life and Vision International. I'll give you the address in a second. Tell other people about it. If you know folks that work in Haiti, tell them about LAVI. Financial donations. Yes, we want your prayers, but if you have money and the Lord puts it on your heart to help out, please, you can do two things. If you want to help with any of the projects that we've talked about, health, agriculture, business, faith, and...
Business.
Did I not say business? Health, agriculture, education, business, and faith. If you want to help with any of those 5 things, you can write a check to LAVI. You can pay LAVI. If you want to help Ved and Amber with their personal expenses that they have, gas, because gas is extremely expensive right now in Haiti, food, $9 a gallon, $9 to $10 a gallon, and very hard to find. They waited 4 hours to get some gas, and I don't even think you got it, did you?
Nope.
You waited 4 hours and the gas never came. All right? We don't understand that inconvenience here. So if you want to give them money so they can continue to do this work, you can write a personal check to them, Verdier and Amber Cherfils. They're separate, right? One's for LAVI and the projects, one's for them so that they can continue to be in Haiti to work with LAVI. That's your choice if you want to make a financial donation. And we will have a PayPal account set up soon, so hold that thought. And last but not least, come serve with us. Come serve with us, LAVI. So, Ved and Amber host many teams in their house. Their house is the Little Lime Guest House. Tissitouan. All right, the Little Lime Guest House where people can come and they can stay. All right, so Morningstar went down in 2015 with a group of people. We were able to do a pastor seminar. We were able to do a lot, mobile clinic. We were able to do a lot of stuff. Aaron Benton just came back. He was able to help out, help build an outhouse, hauling blocks and everything else. He was drawing with the kids. You know, a great time. Come serve and learn. Learn how you can pray. Learn what you can do. And learn how their ministry is impacting lives. Anything else to add?
Yeah, like just already told you guys, we host a lot of team. So for Amber and I, because like I told you earlier, we used to live in the States. So with the money that we save, we do that guest house. It's like a primary income for us. But when the country, okay, we get a lot of team coming. But when the country, like there's unrest in the country, we don't have team. So the guest house is our primary income. And then please keep praying for us for unrest in the country so we could get more team.
All right. If you do want to contact, please, Facebook, it's fb.me/Life and Vision International. Our email is lifeandvisioninternational@gmail.com. And you can always call me. That's my number there, as I am the secretary. And I can put you in touch with Ved and Amber if you need to.